Describe how you felt prior to ozone therapy.
The ozone therapy prior, I was a mess. I was full of pain, ravaged in pain day and night. I was unable to sleep. My hands and feet were swollen and red. I felt like I was being shocked. I had constant neuropathy in the feet and hands. I tried some supplement regimens, and they would work temporarily and they would stop. I got to the point where I could barely walk, and I went back into a wheelchair. I was in one last February. He had gotten me out with the PRP. I came right back again because I only had one treatment of that.
How do you feel during the ozone treatments?
During the ozone treatments, I don't feel anything abnormal, surprisingly. It's comfortable. Dr. Schleier is absolutely phenomenal in putting in the IV needle, and I just sit here and I enjoy his relaxing music, and it's done in a few minutes. It doesn't take that long.
How many treatments did it take before you noticed a significant improvement?
Well, on the first treatment, I had a total of 10 to begin with, and on the first treatment I didn't have any response that I could tell. And I recall the second treatment, I thought I was getting a little suspicious that maybe that pain was reducing in my feet. So then I decided to start writing down each week what I was feeling as a result of the ozone treatments. My third treatment was like my miracle. In addition to fibromyalgia, autoimmune, and many other illnesses that I carry around with me and have for most of my life, the treatment, the third treatment, stopped a chronic cough to over 50%. I'm suffering from an incurable lung disease called bronchiectasis, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And my feet seem to get a little better. So because I've had so many of these treatments now and so many different responses that have been positive, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can refresh myself. Okay, so my third treatment I told you about. My fourth treatment, I was in a wheelchair with the feet, and I began to get out of the wheelchair, and that fourth treatment allowed me to be able to make some meals that week. I couldn't stay out of the wheelchair, but I was progressing, and I had faith that this was going to work. And so my feet continued to improve. My fifth treatment, I have suffered with bursitis on my left thigh for more than 5 years, and I had a hip replaced, and they dug out a lot of that inflammation, but I still was unable to lay on my left side for more than a few seconds, a minute at best. And so on the fifth treatment, I was getting to the point where I could lay on that side about 3 minutes, and my feet continued to improve. On the sixth treatment, something that really struck me odd was, instead of being up throughout the night in pain where it hurt, my body would hurt from the fibromyalgia, my feet were in pain from neuropathy, I was lucky to get 2 to 3.5 hours of undisturbed sleep. I got 3.5 to 4.5 solid sleep, no pain, on that sixth treatment. The fibromyalgia, the fatigue, the muscle stiffness in the morning, it began to be less and less each day. I decided to try my own experiment with my body. Remember I told you I had bronchiectasis. I was on a smart vest that vibrates the lungs to get rid of the mucus out of my bronchial system. Otherwise, I end up in hospital and can't breathe. I took myself off of that vest that I was using 2 and 3 times a day. I took myself off of all the inhalers, the albuterol, the saline solution, or sodium chloride, treatment that I was also having to breathe, and freed myself of 1.5 hours every day, and that was on the 6th treatment. The 7th treatment, I began biking again, and I started biking 2 miles a day. The bursitis pain on that left thigh began to diminish, and I could lay on my left side for 15 minutes, and for the first time in a long time, my husband and I went to bed. We were able to cuddle, and it was just a real good feeling after so many years. The 8 treatment, my foot pain was gone. I felt like I had my life back as far as my feet went. All the swelling, the redness, the numbness, the feeling like my toes were in a socket, every bit of it just diminished at that point in time. And the discoloration from black and blue to red, and all of the fibromyalgia throughout my body. My husband now could reach over and grab my arm or my hand, or lay his hand on my thigh without me going, and that was amazing to me as well. On the 9th treatment, this one really surprised me. I sleep 7 to 8 hours every night now. This was a lady that went on fumes, and I'm not a sitter, so every day I would go, I didn't take naps, and I functioned on 3 hours, 2.5 hours, interrupted sleep. I'm now sleeping 7 to 8 hours, and I'm not in pain throughout the night. The other thing I noticed on that 9th treatment was when I first started biking, my left knee was in pain, but I just kept working through that pain, and I don't have to work through it anymore. I don't have any pain. It's gone because of the treatments. My 10th treatment, and you know, you have so many things wrong with you, you don't realize what they all are. My neighbor had carpal tunnel surgery, and she proceeded to tell me how well it went, and a light bulb went off. Oh, my goodness, Diane. I was sleeping like this with my hand up every night. Carpal tunnel, gone. My hand's fine. No surgery this time. On the 11th treatment, still no smart vest, no medicines. I only take vitamins. I follow a diet plan that Dr. Schleier has given me. I am biking now 1 day a week, 9 miles. My breathing is great, and I bike every night 3 miles, my husband and I just began working out 3 weeks ago at a gym with a trainer, and he's doing stretching and teaching me the proper exercises to use for someone who has fibromyalgia and autoimmune disease, and I'm doing very well. I'm working on my balance and walking in the gym, as well as other things to strengthen my muscles. My 12th treatment I had, I'm still gaining strength, I'm sleeping well, I am pain-free, I'm eating healthy, and life is good for me now. The ozone is what really sealed the deal for me. The fibromyalgia, the immune problem that I have, and everything, including a breathing problem, they all corrected themselves.
Do you plan to continue the treatments?
Well, as I mentioned, through treatment 12, I'm on my 2nd round of 10 treatments. And I do, and I believe I have to, because I want to stay the way I am right now. So, and I thank Dr. Schleier and his staff, for they have seen me walk through this. In addition, so has my husband and some of our friends. We went out to lunch the other day, and he proceeded to tell me what a wonderful feeling it was, that I no longer had to struggle to breathe. He could touch me on my hands or my thigh or something. I didn't clench in pain. And a girlfriend that saw me in the shape I was in before I started here with his treatments, she said if I hadn't seen this beforehand, I would not have believed it. So to me, I'm a walking miracle. Ozone therapy works. Vitamin therapy keeps you where you need to go at our age. Our vitamins are not taken in as well as when we were younger. I was 73 years old in November, and I'm very blessed.